Imagine this. You have just returned from the most magical weekend of your life. You danced under the stars and you even met God during one of your favorite sets. And now you're finally back home and your life is a complete disaster! You checked your banking account and there's only $14 left in it. Your whole house is an explosion of laundry. You permanently have glitter in your car. You are now full of regrets. Full of regrets for having the most magical weekend of your life. And you are now in the middle of a financial emergency while your life seemingly has all imploded on itself. I know this situation because that was literally me 15 years ago when I first got into the rave and the festival scene. I spent every last dollar that I had to go see any artist that I loved. And I have just come such a long way from those days, as now I'm 33 years old and I never outgrew those things. And instead, I decided and taught myself a way to budget and strategize my finances so that moving forward, going to concerts and camping music festivals no longer feels like this once in a lifetime splurge, FOMO, just send it, put it on the credit card, irresponsible decision, but now has actually become something that celebrates all of my hard work and enjoy this incredible experience that is going to music festivals. What is up, festival family, and welcome back to Swords and Feather. If this is your first time, it's so nice to meet you. For those of you who have been watching or you're just joining now, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am a very small YouTuber for now, and each one of you who subscribes to the channel just makes it that much easier and that much more sustainable for me to keep making videos like this one. So definitely don't forget to subscribe along, and welcome to the festival family. So in today's video, we do have so much to cover, and I'm answering one of the most commonly asked questions that I get from my friends and family and now this community, and it is how to afford camping festivals.
Hi guys, this is Editing Feather. So I'm going to show the rest of the video, but I noticed after I was done filming that I have this giant fuzzy piece of hair, I'm guessing from like my ears, like little ears that I wear, like got onto my chin, and I didn't notice until I was done filming. So guys, just mind your own business and don't pay attention to the freaking black hair that's on my chin, because I could not be bothered to refilm all that stuff.
So let's begin to discuss all of the costs that go into a camping music festival. I think this is where a lot of people can get caught up and caught with their pants down per se, because with music festivals, I think there are a lot of hidden costs and there's a lot of things that you don't consider. So I've gone ahead and created a list of literally every single charge that I could possibly think of, and things that every single person is going to need a budget for their first camping music festival. So I will go ahead and play those slides. Feel free to write them down or take notes. If you have any questions about any of the specific things that I put in the slides, go ahead and comment them below. I'm sure not the only one who has questions, but essentially these are all the things that you're gonna have to spend money on in order to go to a camping festival. And the next section of this will be showing you how I break up all of these costs and what my general timeline is, so that I am not overflowing or overspending at any given time. I'm just really breaking it up, the cost of the festival, and there's definitely ideal times to purchase certain things, and so I will share all of that with you. But let's go ahead and just get our eyes on all of these costs. Okay, so let's talk about mindset number one. Mindset number one is that you have to decide that you can have it all. You can financially save for your retirement. You can financially save for any of your big goals in life, whether that's buying a car or a house or going back to school, like whatever those big financial goals that you have that are for the betterment of your future, you can have them. And including long distance out of country travel and camping music festivals. Okay, and now mindset shift number two is basically having the mindset of once I've saved for my future self and for my future goals that are to better my future, then I can save for things like festivals and concerts. So I'll kind of like put up a little diagram here so you can kind of see what it is that I'm talking about. And so you can see here, the first thing that I always prioritize with every single paycheck is I always pay myself first. This is a financial tip that is tried and true and said and shared by all experts. And so because I started to do this over time now, I actually save closer to 40 to 60% of my total income, and so does my husband now. So it was really difficult to do at first because I was living paycheck to paycheck, but then what I'd realized was that I did not do the best job of expecting when certain charges were going to come, and I also, if it was just sitting in my checking account, I would spend it. So once I started to pay myself first and started to pay myself a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, that's where I started to see that 40 to 60% of money of my income actually getting saved, because it totally just changed how I prioritize and bought things. And then it also forced me to give up and get rid of a lot of things that actually I didn't even need. Also motivated me to always be seeking out ways to lower my cost of living. And so just even that mindset has completely changed my life and how I look and feel about my finances. The other thing too that I think is important, and maybe I'll put another diagram up here, is that when you're thinking about your savings, you need to think about like the length of time that those savings have to get to the total amount that you are seeking for. So for example, retirement is obviously long-term savings, so really long-term savings. So that is probably the one thing in your life that you have the most amount of time to save up for, but you also are going to need the most amount of money. And so I actually was talking to a friend the other day, and we were discussing finances, and just to give you guys a little bit of background about me, that I actually did financial consulting for businesses upwards of anywhere between a net revenue of $1 million to $2 billion. So I was even giving financial advice to extremely wealthy, very large businesses, which honestly is probably hard for you guys to believe, and sometimes it's hard for me to believe, but but needless to say that even companies with that type of capital struggle with the basic and simple financial principles. So I was like talking to my friend about that, and he was saying like, oh, isn't just maxing out my 401k enough for me to save for myself in my future? And to that I would say like, maybe a big old maybe. It really depends on how much, again, you are saving, what your long-term financial goals actually are. Like if you don't want to live your life at all and all you want to do is save for retirement, like maybe just maxing out your 401k is going to be enough in life. But I'm guessing if you clicked on this video, you are looking for strategies and ideas and perspectives that help you afford your present joys as well. So you really want to think about your savings as long-term savings and short-term savings. And so just like how I'm gonna show you guys what I do for my short-term savings. You know, I think it's something that's worth mentioning is that I counted this morning, I actually have 10 different savings accounts. I have multiple high interest savings accounts. I have, you know, just basic checking savings accounts, and then I have multiple high like investment type accounts. So stock investment accounts, different long-term long-term retirement accounts that have nothing to do with my 401k from work. So the more that you can diversify and start creating lots of different piles of cash and starting to, you know, there's definitely times where like I'm just only throwing 10 bucks or whatever that I can into all of these accounts. But because I continuously have done that, and I've done that for years, these accounts continue to grow. And if I ever needed to pull from one of these savings accounts, I don't feel guilty because I have like 9 other accounts that I have been feeding into and saving into. So it's like I have basically created this system that makes it impossible for me not to save more money than I'm spending and continuously building towards my future. I've literally made it foolproof for myself. So I think that, you know, obviously I don't have all the answers. I'm definitely not a perfect example, but I definitely think that that's a really good strategy and a really good way to begin thinking about this and how you're going to start thinking about any future plans that you have or the future camping festival that you're planning for. Like, you can save for everything that you want and also save for music festivals. Like, that is the beauty of money. I just feel like, especially now in the digital age where most of our money is, you know, again, just like numbers on a screen, that if you had $100 cash, like, and you had 100 singles, like, you would have all these different separate piles of goals and things and putting your money towards it. But because we live in these modern times, we forget that, you know, $100 is not a singular financial unit. You can break that up into 100 different ways and put intention and focus on whatever those things are, even if you're just only making a small contribution at a time towards your goals. So yeah, I just to share some like easy, like right off the bat tips and tricks that I think can really help you out when you are just maybe considering going to a camping music festival financially for the first time, is to definitely pick a camping festival that it would be fairly easy for you to drive to. The reason that I say that is because if it's easy for you to drive to, let's say within like, you know, 6 to 8 hours, not only are your travel costs in terms of gas gonna be much lower, but it's also a huge cost savings when you don't have to also include a flight into the logistics and then camping gear. If you're able to drive, you can just bring all of your camping gear. Not only that, but you can also bring all of your own food and cook a lot of your own food, which will literally save you, depending on the length of the festival, how many meals. I mean, $100 a day or more, you know, like I don't think that's too far of a stretch because vendor food is just so expensive. So, and then there are also going to be situations where it's a camping festival, but maybe you don't actually have all that camping gear. So it might actually make sense for you to stay off-site. So an example that I can give you, yeah, so like an example an example that I can give you is actually in 2024, me and a group of friends all went to Envision Festival in Costa Rica. And I could not, for the life of me, and nobody in my group could like logistically figure out how we were going to get any sort of camping gear out to Costa Rica. And neither of us were okay with just like buying gear and tossing it. Obviously, environmentally, financially, not acceptable. So In that case, in that particular scenario, it actually was cheaper and made sense for us to rent an Airbnb and have a shared rental car to go to and from the festival every day. And I'm so glad that we ended up doing that because we did do that. We were able to go to the grocery store and we cooked a lot of our own meals. And then we also had our own infinity pool that overlooked this Costa Rican jungle, and we also had our own private section of the beach. And that year at Envision Festival actually was the year where they had to like change venues after that because the water there ended up getting some sort of contamination. So a lot of the people who were camping there and eating at the festival grounds ended up getting sick. So that is also something that you should always consider as well, depending on the music festival. Now, a lot of you are here from my Electric Forest content, so obviously Electric Forest is definitely one of those festivals where it is always better to camp. Like, you will save so much more money that way, and because of its rural location, there's just not a lot of rideshare options, there's not a lot of hotel options, and there's just not a lot of Airbnbs. And you really do miss a lot of the experience by not camping at Electric Forest versus at Envision. I actually felt like staying off site. I got way more out of that festival and way more out of that experience because we did stay off site, and then we got to explore the general area and we got to do so many cool things and just went to the festival at night to catch the music. And so that's just a really good example of like thinking ahead and planning ahead and understanding logistically where I can save a lot of money and not necessarily lose out on the experience and what you're getting out of the experience. Another thing that you can do is to freeze water bottles in your coolers so you're not spending money on ice while you're there. Obviously, carpooling is always a great idea. I feel like less and less people are carpooling these days to camping music festivals, and that's not good. You know, I obviously, if you really don't have anybody, but truly carpooling goes a really long way to help break up the costs and share, you know, maintenance costs and gas related costs. And then usually there's a cost per car to camp, so the less vehicles you can bring, the better. The other thing that I really recommend is if you are not going to be camping all the time or going to a camping festival ever again, maybe you're just doing this as a one-time thing, you really probably want to borrow as much stuff as possible in terms of your camping gear. You do want to make sure that whatever you have set up for your sleeping situation is top-notch. Like, I don't think you should necessarily cheap out on that. So I personally like a tall, inflatable mattress with an extension cord plug-in to pump versus a battery pump, and then like really comfortable bedding. And then if you can do it, definitely have an easy up over your tent. It will just protect it from the weather and also will provide a lot of shade. If you can get an easy up that's a dark color to go over your tent, even better, because again, the darker color just provides more shade. And then if you want more specific information on that, like, go check out this video. And so let's see what else. Facebook Marketplace is also a great place where you can score. I actually went to Goodwill and thrifted before Electric Forest this year, and I actually found a lot of great pieces. I didn't actually end up making them part of my festival outfits, but I found a lot of comfy clothes that I loved. So definitely don't sleep on going to Goodwill and just thrifting outfits or doing thrift flips. Like, I think that you can really score there. And a lot of times, you know, to overly splurge like on an outfit that's like over $100 or more is just like not a good investment, because especially if it's something that you can only ever see yourself wearing and being photographed at one time. I get it, everyone, you know, I've definitely been guilty for buying overpriced clothes, but I can honestly say after experience that I wish I had the money versus having the clothes, especially if it was something that I only wore at one time. So just keep that in mind, that oftentimes you might love something more if it really aligns with your style and you got it for a good price. Ooh, I have a really good tip. So one really good tip that I think you should look into, if you are responsible and can handle it, is to get a travel credit card. So I use Capital One Venture Credit Card. I like it because it isn't tied to any single airline. So I can purchase tickets through miles for many different airlines, not just one. And I've also do all my car rental and hotel booking through my credit card a lot too. So I charge all of my day-to-day expenses on my my Ventura Capital One credit card. Again, not sponsored, but I've been able to rack up so many airline miles that I don't think my husband and I have had to pay straight up for any flights for any of our travel that we've done in the past few years. I'll be honest with you guys, I have many different bank accounts that I can pull from, but like I like to you basically, once you start having a lot of extra money and you have all of these like funded and different piles of money all over the place, you kind of have to start like lying to yourself and saying that you don't have cash because otherwise you're gonna sink those funds. Because if you think of them as like, oh well, I can spend this money because I have this money in this bank account, it's better to almost forget it and tell yourself that you don't have access to that money, and then to live your life that way. That's how you live below your means, and that is how I've never gotten into any sort of credit card debt or any sort of credit card problems. So just know that, and know that like some bank accounts and some piles of cash are sacred and that they cannot be touched or tampered with. And just lie to yourself. Just lie to yourself so that you don't overspend. Okay, so now let's get into probably my number one hack to help me save and budget for music festivals. I use this app called Albert. So we're gonna go ahead and log in here. This is not sponsored, by the way, and if you are curious to know, Albert does have a small cost associated with it, but as you can see here, I've just hopped into the app, and now you can see that I have all of these different they're basically like separate individual little savings accounts that I can label and name, and I can set a goal for. So let's just start here. We're gonna do Electric Forest 2027. Should have probably put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Just ignore the text from my husband. So the first category that I'm making here is Electric Forest 2027. This is gonna include my travel funds, so gas, car maintenance, not airport, hotel, and those types of things. So I'm gonna go back and look at my notes later, but for now, let's just go ahead and put $300. So I don't remember off the top of my head how much 2 Good Life wristbands for Electric Forest cost, but let's just put in $1,600 for now. And then we're going to make one more. And you can see here I can organize the different piles. By the way, how many of you guys are going to be going to both days of Grizz Red Rocks coming up in September? Comment below if I'm going to see you there. I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. Grizz, I saw Grizz for the first time since his comeback at Electric Forest, and it was so good. I'm so excited to see him at Red Rocks. And then the last little section that I'm going to make is a decor and outfit section. This is the one category that I definitely go overboard on every single year. So I'm going to set a budget of only $300. Like, I'm not allowed to spend more than $300 on decor and camping outfits for Electric Forest this year. Like, that's it. And so I actually was saving a bunch of money for the winter months of this year because that tends to be our slow season for my husband and I, but now that I've started a new job, winter is actually the busiest season and the season where both of us probably are gonna actually make the most money this year. So I saved all this money basically thinking that I was gonna need it, but now I don't. So now I'm gonna probably just disperse this $908 amongst all of my goals. Let's get the calculator up. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna divide it by the number of little savings accounts that I have. Comes out to like 180 something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Begin loading up all of these accounts. And so yeah, so today I've already made a pretty major dent in my Electric Forest 2027 goals, and I was actually even able to move some money into my Red Rocks fund for September for Grizz, and also my fund for Closer to the Sun Festival, which I'm going to with my husband and best friend in January. So, oh my gosh, if you guys love reggae music, you gotta get yourself to Closer to the Sun Fest at least once, because it is such a good vacation, and the Hard Rock Hotel where it's held at is like top notch. All right, so that's essentially the demo there. So it's really easy, it's really straightforward. I've been using Albert for a long time. It does have a small fee associated with it monthly. It's negligible in my opinion, just to be able to organize my sinking cost savings this way has just been really helpful. Like as you saw, I have all kinds of sinking cost funds. I even save money in there for my license and registration or future dog sitting and health care bills. And then if this savings account ever gets above a certain amount, let's say around $3,000, I'll actually clear it out and start over again on all of my goals. And when I say clear out the savings account, I'll put it into long-term savings or a higher return on investment with the interest. So yes, how can you just wipe the slate clean and start over on all these goals? Well, when you start early enough and on top of it all the time, and the app is saving for you, and then you're also going in the app and saving. Every time that I doom scroll and I catch myself doom scrolling, I will go into my Albert and put $5 into all the different savings accounts. I find myself for things. And then it's kind of nice. I now find myself, but I find myself for something that I actually care about, an experience that I actually care about. And obviously when things are good too, I'll just go in there. Sometimes I'm just bored and I'll just add $2 or $3 to all the accounts. So I just do that all the time, and like I said, before you know it, you've got all this extra cash. Yay, we did it! We're that much closer to going to our next music festival. Friends, well, that brings us to the end of the video. I had so much fun with you guys today. I hope that all of these tips and tricks will be helpful for you guys. If you have any tips and tricks that you would love to share, please share them with the group in the comments below. Obviously, I'm just one person with one type of experience, but I would love to hear any best practices you guys have to help you save and stay in check for camping festivals. Yes, and if you are not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Right now, only about 8% of you are actually subscribed to the channel. So I'd love to see that number increase and for you to officially join our little festival family. And I hope that this video was super helpful for you. I hope that you feel like you have permission to go and follow your dreams. I hope that it makes you feel a little bit more at peace with your life and with your day-to-day or your 9-to-5 and your responsibilities, knowing that you can have it all and that you don't have to just only save for retirement and die. You can have it all. You truly can have it all, and that this video has made you realize that we're all kind of in the same boat, but in a cool way. This strategy can work for anyone at any time and at any budget. It doesn't matter how much money you make, it's all about how much are you willing to focus. And even if it's a super little marginal amount, I have built all of my financial abundance on extremely small amounts. You know, don't underestimate the power of saving $1. Don't underestimate the power of saving for yourself and paying yourself first. And don't underestimate the power of, you know, negative forces at work that are always trying to find ways to have you part ways with your money. But if you already have an intention set for each and every dollar that you make, then they're like little soldiers that can go and you can delegate to work on your behalf. All right, well, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.